Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Wood. This is the Morning Wood where you get wooded good because the wood is so good. I'm hearing myself. Okay, now I was hearing myself. I don't know where it's coming from. There we go. I got it muted. Woo. I was trying to find which site was because I got multiple sites up to make sure it's working, and I was hearing myself. I'm sorry about that unprofessional bullshit. It's Landon's fault.
It's my fault. I
It's
will
all
take full responsibility.
Yep, it's Landon. And well, we're very short panel today. It looks like because Red Eye's not. Red Eye's here. Okay, Red Eye's here. Red Eye,
I
you
snuck
here?
in the back door just before you started.
Oh, okay. You late son of a bitch.
Oh, I was on time. What are you talking about?
He's on red eye time.
But I was gonna say Red Eye's supposed to be here, but nah, I see he's here. Good, good. So, but Luna's not going to be here today due to she had an appointment and some stuff taken care of. So she can't make it today, but she will be missed in spirit. She'll be back tomorrow though, which I will talk about. We are doing a Friday show tomorrow. We're going to have Luna here. Missy Ann's going to be here. Shabisky's going to be here. Anna Mansell's going to be here. Red Eye's going to be here. So it's going to be a good show. Good fun Friday show. As always, there's three links in the description, I do believe, where you can tip or whatever, and I appreciate it. Maybe, well, actually, there's no links in the description today. What the hell? I just says,
I made a new event for some reason. It wasn't the event that you scheduled. I'm not sure why that happened.
oh my goodness, what is going on?
You are live though. I mean, at least you're live, right? I mean, it's good to be.
I can actually explain that because if you used YouTube events versus YouTube Stream Now in Restream, that's what does it. You have to use YouTube Stream Now, and that's why.
Well, yeah. Well, I fucked up.
Well,
I will let the people know who are waiting in the other chat to go to the other stream. Yeah.
That's fucked up, man. Why is it fucked up, man? I fucked up. Why did I fuck up, brother?
No, it wasn't you. It was Auntie Susan.
And I don't see it on Twitter either, by the way. That's what's messing me up. I don't see it on Twitter.
I did check Periscope, and it's going to Periscope, so why it's not on Twitter is beyond me.
So while they're figuring all this out, you should like and subscribe and contribute.
Yeah.
Where are you going to
Even though there is no links to contribute to right now.
If someone could drop the link to the new stream in the chat of the old stream, because I can't do that because I'm not moderator.
But we'll get there. We'll get it all set.
We'll get it all settled up. I mean, hey, this show has endured despite YouTube fuckery many times before, and it'll continue to go on despite YouTube fuckery.
Talking about, before we get into what we want to talk about with Landon and them today, I do want to talk about that yesterday on Twitter. One of the number 3 trend of the day was YouTube is over party.
Yep.
I'm sure it was a bunch of people doing nothing and saying a bunch, but
they were really going after YouTube though, and I was actually happy that trend was taking place because it's letting YouTube know, hey, motherfucker, you know, this shit's not right. This is, and
I mean, they already know people feel that way, though, right? Like, call me cynical, but I feel like I'm glad people are getting out and putting their opinions out there and taking the piss out of YouTube. I'm glad that they're doing that. I just don't think it'll do anything, which is the sad part, because these passionate people, like, their opinion should matter, but to YouTube it doesn't, because it's a monopoly.
Here's how you hurt YouTube, and we get rid of Auntie Susan.
Well,
stop using YouTube services. Stop using now. The content creators aren't going to like me saying this. All by the way, you probably
because most of them literally cannot stop doing that, and that's the problem with YouTube being the monopoly that it is.
You need to stop using the membership on YouTube. You need to cancel all YouTube Red, any of the YouTube subscriptions.
I agree with that.
You need to send a message to YouTube and not pay the money. Don't buy fucking any of their movies. Don't fucking give them any fucking money. And if you're an advertiser, don't use none of their services. And if you're an advertiser that owns a business, don't advertise on YouTube. And what will happen is the growing ups that's sitting at Alphabet and the powers that be will look down upon the little umbrella company and go, not generating any profit. What the fuck's going on? And that's when Auntie Susan will get booted to the fucking curb. Not a moment before. They don't give a shit about the rest of it. All they give a fuck about is profit. And as long as it's profitable, Auntie Susan gets to drive the fucking train. So what we've got to do is not make it profitable. That's going to take some pain. And again, I'm going to urge content creators, Subscribestar, alternative pay services. Patreon is just as fucking bad. And they will come for you. Now, they came for, let's go down the list really quick. Alex Jones, Sargon, fucking Milo. Now, Onision's fair game, but here's the problem. Onision hasn't been actually found guilty of anything yet, so they shouldn't have touched him. People aren't going to like me saying that either, but innocent till proven guilty, remember? Let him have his day in court, let him get found guilty, then we can fucking crucify him all we like. But till then, they shouldn't have touched his Patreon. So everyone, get the fuck out of YouTube's fucking, stop giving them money.
Yeah.
Simple as that. End rant.
I can't say I disagree with some of that. I definitely don't disagree with some of that. I do disagree. I do agree with, like YouTube Red or whatever that shit is. Don't buy that shit. Don't use super chats because that's giving them money. If you want to support the creator, do it directly through the creator.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that one. I agree with that one.
Yeah.
You know.
So how would you suggest that they support you as a creator?
Well, there's several ways. I mean, of course, there's. I'm sticking with Patreon right now. Hey, good morning, Mama. Love you. You gonna lay down? Okay.
Hi, Mama Pam.
Everybody says, "Hey, Mama." I don't. There's several ways to do it. PayPal, Patreon. So, what's that? Subscribestar? Is that what you said? Or
Yes.
And if you don't have money, there's other ways, contribute by sharing their videos and, just helping out, whatever. There's so many ways. It is bothersome to people who don't want to fucking support YouTube and then they, slide away from the actual content creator, which hurts the content creator more. So find a way to support the content creator without supporting YouTube. That's something I can say is, do it directly through the fucking content creator, because I don't want to support YouTube, but YouTube is really the only major platform right now to do videos. There's other places and we can get there. We're going to try to get there. But it is the big dog right now. Now, maybe that'll fall. I hope it falls. I really do. I hope it crumbles to the ground and somebody else rises from the ashes. I really do. I hope. I think YouTube can be saved if they fire Susan. YouTube can be saved. But
I don't
they have
think one person, honestly, is at. I mean, like,
no, it is one person. One person started it all. One person is at the tip of the fucking iceberg. She's the one leading the goddamn ship. Yeah, but if you get rid of Susan, her people are going to go too, and you bring in new fucking people. And I think they can. Now, is that
you don't think we'll just get an even stronger corporate entity who's just going to do the same decisions she makes?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It could happen. I'm just saying that would be a way to do it.
That's true. It could be.
And look, I'm not saying, and I want to make this clear. I don't want YouTube to go back to the Wild Wild West days. I think there needs to be moderated. It needs to be where kids can feel safe to go on and stuff like that. We need that, but we also don't need this 100%.
They got YouTube Kids. There's a website for kids. It's called YouTube Kids. So fuck off over there, Junior, and go play in fucking YouTube Kids and leave the adults to do what we used to do, which is have conversations, agree and disagree with each other, and actually bring back the old features like you do a video, someone can do a response video directly to you, like the good old days.
Susan took away the voice of the content creator. That is what she is doing. And she's pretty much succeeded.
Rewrite the rule book and make it clear.
Yeah, the new rules, like the new rules that just came out yesterday about you can't say anything to anyone negative if they find it. I mean, it is hard. You can't criticize YouTube, by the way. Because if I say Susan's a dumbass, I'm bullying Susan.
Yep. No
No,
company
you're
should have that
stating a
type of
fact.
power, like over like the internet. In my opinion, like no company should straight up have that type of control. YouTube, I mean, not YouTube. Google controls the two most used search engines, and like Google and YouTube. In my fucking opinion, that's a huge fucking problem when it comes to logistics and like what they can control when it comes to advertisers and shit like that. I think Google needs to be broken up. I think it's a monopoly that needs to be broken up, and government intervention is going to have to take place at some point.
I don't like that. No.
You don't like that?
Well,
because I'm not saying that the government needs to regulate it. I'm saying that they're a monopoly that needs to be broken up into like other companies. So that way we can have like Google, the search engine, and YouTube, the website. You know what I mean? I think having it as all as one big company is is.
Well, YouTube's its own entity under umbrella of Google. It's how they don't pay any fucking tax, mate. Here's an interesting fact: in Australia, they just 1/3 of the big corporations in this country last year effectively paid no tax, no fucking tax. So yeah, breaking them up. They've set them up in such a way that they are splintered. So it's not Google, Alphabet, Google, YouTube, different entities as far as the government's concerned. So they're already split up.
But they monopolize something that so many people engage in their everyday life. Like there's nothing out there that's quite like YouTube. It's not like Facebook and Twitter, which are like, I mean, they're not exactly the same, but at least they're competitors to each other. They serve a similar purpose for communication in that regard.
Well, hold on, they don't charge any money to use it, so it's hard to justify it as a monopoly. And there are other services out there, plenty of videos. That's not going to pass muster, I don't think, mate. What we can do is stop giving them fucking money, and they might start listening. That's all we got. That's our only weapon is our wallet.
I don't see how it can't be a monopoly just because they don't charge money for it. I mean, they do provide a service.
It's not though, mate. A monopoly. It is
a monopoly.
Hey, Landon, can you explain?
Completely a fucking monopoly.
Well, it's not because there's other services out there that are the same.
Yeah, but they're not viable competitors in the slightest. Like, to even call them competitors is just completely obtuse. Like, they're not.
Let Landon explain what a monopoly is.
Well, then the difference between anti-competitive and a monopoly, right? All oligarchy. I think that's the issue here, and you might say that YouTube has engaged in anti-competitive practices. Monopoly is a legal status of that says a company is engaged in behavior to prevent the competition from gaining a foothold in the market.
It seems like that to me with how all these big tech companies have been working together, like PayPal and Patreon have been working together to fuck over, like, for example, BitChute and all these other, like, YouTube alternatives that have tried to pop up, like Subscribestar has been tried to fuck over. Like, Patreon and PayPal have tried to fuck with them by making it so that they can't get paid out through PayPal. I mean, it seems to me like this type of stuff is going on already.
So you say that it's called
collusion.
Yes. and so someone can be anti-competitive and colluding. Monopoly is a legal finding that a company has used various anti-market practices to be able to impede competition.
But isn't it like the same end result?
So what you might say is that YouTube is heading towards a monopoly status by their anti-competitive practices.
Sure. Okay.
But now, if YouTube went up and bought up all the competition like Dailymotion and they, let's just say they fucking bought Twitch and they bought everything else and they owned all of the companies, then you can go, oh, you'd have what was happening in Australia many moons ago with Telstra. And that was a actual government-owned monopoly. They controlled the entire telecommunications market, wholesale and fucking retail, all levels from top to bottom. That's what you call a monopoly. What YouTube is they're a pack of anti-competitive bastards, and they're cruising into a certain territory like Landon just explained, but we're not there quite yet, in my opinion.
No. So when I talk, send the warnings into Alphabet, I say be careful that YouTube is not heading towards a a monopoly status and to curb behavior that's anti-competitive. Now, it turns out, that the company doesn't have to charge. A company could give away something for free. Right? One of the anti-competitive practices is you could essentially flood the market with essentially free goods. You can even pay people to take your goods to wipe out the competition, turn around and become the only game in town or the practical game in town, and then turn around and blow the rest of people away. So you don't have to. You can be declared a monopoly by not charging, as an example.
Sounds a lot like the type of stuff Walmart does when they make it so their goods are at such a level that no other competitor could possibly match their prices.
When it's done across international borders, it's called dumping.
Okay,
that's another example of something where you say, if you say I'd like to go and dominate the Australian market for cell phones.
Let's say avocados, because that's actually happening.
Okay,
just
so
done
avocados.
a trade agreement. Yeah.
And you say, hey, let's for a month offer avocados at 1 cent a piece as an incentive to buy.
The imported ones are, So the Australian ones are still $2 a piece, but the imported ones from South America you can buy for 5 cents each.
What? That's crazy.
Well, that's an extreme example. I'm just trying to highlight it, but we're just trying to show an example of the behaviour. And they can come in and they'll go and buy tons and tons and tons of fruit, and the shops do this. It's called a loss leader, and that gets you in the store, and then all of the stuff that you usually buy is jacked the fuck right up, like milk, bread, other things like that, and they gotcha.
Another way they might say is that, okay, we'll go to the major supermarket brands in Australia, and we will provide avocados at 25% of normal price. So they could say, we say to the same market, you can buy whatever avocados you want. You can sell them for whatever price. We'll provide you at quarter of the normal market price if you agree to buy all of our cheese.
I like cheese.
So you then say, here's the cheese and here's cheap avocados. And so the supermarkets stop buying avocados from Australian growers and buy your avocados because they can make a big profit in return for buying lots of your cheese.
Yeah.
So there the consumer doesn't even see the price change, but you say, well, but you can go to a farmer's market and sell your avocados whatever you want. That's again an anti-competitive practice. If you found guilt of that, you've been declared a monopoly, and then bad things can happen to you legally.
Yeah. So, for instance, Google a couple of years back in the EU, Microsoft. My bad. Microsoft were told, hey, listen, you've got to supply a different web browser because you've monopolized everything by just slapping Internet Explorer on your install list. And the EU forced Microsoft to set it up so when you install, Microsoft says, oh, you can use Internet Explorer or you can use one of these other browsers. Would you like to choose a different browser? And that was forced upon Microsoft because in Australia, they don't have to do that. I installed Windows 10. It went, here's the crappy new version of whatever we were trying to justify as a web browser. Get rooted, and I had to use it to download Google Chrome.
See, I don't really see how that instance is a huge deal, though. Like, just the web browser thing, is that really like that big of like
an example of a monopoly?
Because what Microsoft wanted to do was to say their browser would use their search engine, would use their preferences, would use their plugins, would use their ad blockers.
And my dick.
Yeah.
All right.
And Steve Ballmer, the former president of Microsoft, ordered his folks to lie to Judge Green. They put forward a video claiming that if you removed Microsoft Explorer from Windows, it wouldn't work well. And they were dumb enough to do really bad video editing. And I noticed that the icons slightly shifted because I had one of those moire pattern things where I was rendering it on my screen, at a different win, and I saw that the memory pattern shifted. And so I, as part of our team, we went and did an investigation. We found that when they're recording video and you see the scan lines going down and you see the scan line jump, right? Fractions of 60th of a second because 60 hertz scan line. And then we showed the fact that they had basically edited the video that they were trying to give to the judge. And then Steve Ballmer, through Microsoft Word documents, instructed his team on how to cover it up. And last instruction was to delete the notes from the Microsoft Word document about his instructions. Of course, he forgot that Microsoft Word documents have a history. And so you do the undo history and you see Steve Ballmer's instructions to have them essentially perjure themselves before the judge. And that's
Oh my God.
This thing. One of the reasons why Microsoft hates me with a passion. And my thing was I'd only work for Microsoft if they fired Steve Ballmer for perjury. Right? He's a convicted
That's crazy, man.
perjurer, and Steve and Bill Gates is a convicted monopolist. The problem is Judge Green made some procedural mistakes that the Court of Appeals said could vacate his breaking up of the company. What Microsoft needed was the death penalty, corporate death penalties. If they want to become humans, then I would say, fine, Microsoft is a death penalty, and I would basically have deleted the company. I would have given.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Given practices, I would have essentially distributed the value of the shareholders to the general public, like the general fund, and uncertified, and put Microsoft employees on unemployment.
Man, you're cool.
Steve
man.
Ballmer and I did not get along well, and he remains convicted. And also and Bill Gates, I don't care how much charity he tries to buy his way into. His money was ill-gotten gains, and he also deserves to be bankrupt. But that's my opinion.
Wow, that was awesome. That was an awesome story. Cool.
So I was one of the people that caught Microsoft lying and falsifying information for the judge. One of the reasons why that was when I went to Microsoft and I showed up and people came out to have. I was one of the notorious people. They actually didn't let me into any of their buildings other than the cafeteria. They decided I was gonna go there and meet with some people I knew there, and it had a bunch of employees that came out and they took my picture in front of the Microsoft sign, and they went in and said, okay, you can't go into the buildings, but you can go into the cafeteria. And they got mad because I took pictures of the amounts they charge their employees for lattes and cappuccinos. And it's like, saying, our company would give it for free and you charge your employees.
Damn, that blows.
And that sort of limited my ability to stay in their cafeteria. So
yeah, I can imagine.
Lanny gets kicked out of Microsoft like I get kicked out of nightclubs. Pretty impressive.
Anyway, but that's how do we get on this topic?
I don't fucking know. I've been sitting here. I've been doing other shit when y'all talk. I've been sitting here trying to figure out all these. For some reason, it's still saying sending data to Facebook on my Restream thing, but it's on Periscope. It is on Twitter right now. It's on YouTube here, and yeah. So
This is Landon's fault, and I know why. I can't say any more than that, but Landon knows what I'm talking about. This is Zuck's is aware of this stream, and this is payback.
But we are working.
His regards.
We're definitely trying to be multi-platform. We are multi-platforming now, but we're trying to get on we'll be on D Stream probably starting tomorrow. So or D Live, whatever the fuck it's called, and
This is
Hey,
not
boss.
This is not
What-
D Wayne.
What,
This is
buddy?
D-Stream.
What sort of times are we living in?
dark times, man. We're living in dark times, bro.
We live in dark times.
By the way, D's gonna be working on some T-shirts. We're gonna be working on the Dark Times T-shirt, the How Duello shirt, the shirt.
You mean some D shirts?
And $10 to the first person who gets called a racist for wearing a "We Live in Dark Times" t-shirt.
Oh shit! Yeah, someone might take that the wrong way.
Before,
Times
yeah,
of color, times of
we
color.
do live in times of darkness, and this is true. And we also live in times of whiteness. Look how fucking white Landon is right now. His wall's white, his shirt's white, his hair's white, his smile's white. The fuck? You're such a racist.
He's not white. He's white.
I am
A white
Ref-
supremacist.
I'm reflecting a broad spectrum of colors.
All I see is white.
I am absorptive deficient.
Well, I'm black. As you see, black hat, black shirt. Oh, the wall is finished. If you guys have noticed, the brick wall. There's no
Okay.
white wall left up there. It's all brick wall now. So, and also, you can't see this, but I have a picture I'm going to be posting on whatever that fucking site is called, Instagram. Dude, I'm so unsocial network, I swear. But of the tapestry thing that I think Landon bought of the Grim Reaper skull, it's on that wall over there. It looks fucking awesome,
Cool,
dude.
man.
It is awesome looking. Trust me, it's fucking badass. So we're getting the room fixed up slowly but surely. And Red Eye's a homosexual. And
Only on Thursday afternoons, but on the weekends, I'm totally gay for pay.
your days change a lot. I've noticed that. It's been on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. So just go ahead and say it's all week.
No, it's just, I haven't got a strict schedule, man. I just rock it when I feel like it.
You can go straight to hell in that chat room with that comment. I hate when people say that. Is white a color or a shade? Oh, fuck off. Seriously, fuck the fuck off. Anyway,
It actually, in optical spectrum, white is a reflection of a broad set of colors, and off-white would be where you're not reflecting all colors equally. You're biased.
and that's like black is not a color; it's the lack of. Ooh.
Oh,
That's really deep, Pitmonk. That's really deep.
But yeah, deep. Let's talk about deep. Let's talk about Red Eye's asshole. No, anyway, there is
What?
now the links are now in the description. The Streamlabs, the Patreon, and the PayPal are down there in the description. If you want to tip or contribute to the channel, anyway, next week we'll be back on the regular Pimp Monk channel, maybe for a couple days. Because I got suspended for a week because of a video I did in January of 2016, which was anti-child abuse video. I did a video about anti-child abuse. I was talking about people abusing children, saying it was wrong 4 years ago. And I got suspended for a week because of it. But we will be back on there next week. And like I said, if you don't want to contribute to YouTube, understand that we are live on Periscope. It's on my Twitter right now. You can watch it there. It was supposed to be on Facebook too, but for some reason it says still sending data. But we're going to be multi-platform, and so if you don't want to contribute to YouTube in any way, you can watch it on other platforms. And like I said, contribute directly to. We said this earlier. Do it through the content creator. Don't support the creator through YouTube. That fucking super chat shit. Don't do it. Do not do it, because YouTube does not care about the creator. So why should you care about YouTube? So right now, I'm using YouTube as solely as a way to get out there. I don't care about YouTube, but
Yeah,
I'm using other platforms as well. Until YouTube is, go ahead, Red Eye.
I was just going to say, and look what happened to Mr. Medica. They just randomly come along and said, "Oh, one of your videos doesn't pass muster." Chop, and what they paid out in 3 months. So 3 months worth of his streams, YouTube, the Streamlabs or whatever it is, the super chat. Sorry, they have it isolated in a bank account. He'll never see it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lot
This is
of
someone who
people-
made $15,000 in one stream and probably won't see a cent of it, which is complete bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of people got fucked. A lot of people, and it's constant. But even when like Mr. Medical would probably still use YouTube if he could. I mean, really, honestly, because this.
He still can.
Yeah.
It's just, if you go and have a look, he's now Jim the Weatherman. I've showed Landon a couple of the vids, and they're the best fucking videos on. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't put Mr. Medica down. He just gets back up and says,
that's my
the
point.
best you got.
Yeah,
Because he has got alternative methods to fund him. Like if there are Subscribestar, etc. And again, please continue supporting the content creators.
Yes.
I want to make myself perfectly clear. Don't support YouTube if you've got subscriptions with them. Fuck that shit off. Don't use super chats, but continue to use the other services that provide funds directly to content creators, because without you, the fans, supporting content creators, our world's going to get a whole lot more boring, and it'll kind of be like when I grew up. There was no YouTube. Imagine living in a world where there was no cable TV.
Yeah.
There was no YouTube. There was 3 fucking channels of TV.
Yeah,
3 channels, right? 3 fucking channels, and videos weren't out yet either. So VHSs weren't even invented. I lived in a time where we had 3.5 channels, because the government channel 2, you don't really count that one. So we had Channel 10, Channel 7, and Channel 9.
Well, think about Landon. He comes from a time where they didn't even have a radio.
Used to tap on rocks to communicate.
that a string and 2 fucking cans. Anyways, yeah, exactly. The creator is getting punished a lot because of YouTube, and it's not that we need to like find a way to support the creator without supporting YouTube. But in one of the ways is for creators is to find other platforms as well. Don't stop. You don't have to stop using YouTube, and I'm still using YouTube, but I'm also trying to find other ways to put my content out there, to put the show out there, and because you never know what's going to happen, especially with me, because unfortunately, I don't know why, but we've talked about this the other day. Nobody knows any other YouTuber who has been suspended as many times as I have. I've been suspended 7 times on YouTube. Don't know why. Most of the time, it's ridiculous. Like, 4 videos from 4 years ago. It doesn't make sense. It's even come to a point now where I find it comical, and seriously, I find it actually funny that it's happening to me like this. I can actually use this now. I'm the most suspended person on YouTube. Fuck yeah, you need to watch me because I'm that controversial. I'm that goddamn edgy.
Yeah.
I'm using it as a fucking badge of fucking honor now. But
Edgelord.
I'm an edgelord. And the thing about it is, I am not even that fucking edgy. Yeah, I do say edgy things at times, but there's motherfuckers out there that is way more controversial than Pitmon. Seriously, there's motherfuckers.
Sargon.
There's drugs. Yeah. Oh, we got money music. I like money music. Let's see what the money music has to say today. I can't say that name, but fuck YouTube, $5. Thank you. What is that? Penultima. Yeah. I was. It all ran into like just weird looking fucking words to me today. Sorry. But yes, we can find ways to support the creator. And by the way, I'm a procrastinator, but I also had a lot of shit going on in my life. Everybody knows I don't have to get into it. There's a lot of shit going on. So, and I'm also a procrastinator, so it takes me a little bit longer to do things than other people. But I am finally, like I said, doing the multi-platforming thing and figuring out other things. Can't talk about it. Can't even say what's going on. But there is something big going to be happening in the future. There's only one person that knows about it. It's a gray-haired fellow over here. But anyways, there is something that's happening right now behind the scenes that I'm very happy about. That actually kind of lit a fire under my ass, actually. It kind of did when this happened. And when it does happen, it's going to be cool. I think you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy it. And I think it also get my name out there more. So I'm happy about that. We can't talk about it, though. Even though I'm talking about it, we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
The first rule of Fight Club is to talk about it.
So why do we talk about Australia?
Fuck Australia, man.
Yeah, I live there. It's pretty boring, really.
Yeah, but yeah, keep those tips coming. And yeah, we're going to talk about Australia in a minute. And also, that's it. Yeah, we'll talk about Australia. So let's I had something else I wanted to mention right quick, but I can't remember what it is. I'll think of it in a minute and interrupt Landon. Go ahead, Landon.
So I had the.
I'm joking.
I had the distinct pleasure of visiting the fine alleged continent of Australia, which is also a country. It's the only country that's a continent and a country and an island. And it was a marvelous experience. I highly recommend visiting Australia. And I had a wonderful time to travel across the great continent from the far west coast over to the east coast and up the east coast line into the Gold Coast area, where I was subjected to the wonderful hospitality of Red Eye. And I have to say, it's a marvelous experience there. The train, about 4.5 day train ride. I was doing some work in some matters relating to science in Australia. Met some amazing people on the train. We had meetings on the train, but there's also lots of. But I think the thing that is quite remarkable about Australia, for the most part, is the amount of friendly people you find there. Even though the land in parts is not that hospitable. I mean, it's the center is fairly dry and desolate. The people there are very warm and inviting. And as well as in the Gold Coast area, I had the work of the train travel and meeting with people on the train and seeing Australia sort of go by, and then I had the chance to sort of see the domestic side of Australia. And the main thing you want to do in traveling is you learn a lot about yourself, and you see things that are done different. If you pay attention to what's going on, in the details, you'll see in a different culture things happening that you say, oh, that's kind of different, that's unusual. I always thought it was done this way, and it's not. There's other people that change. So one of the things that I was continue to be very impressed with is if you go to small commercial establishments, you'll find people working in those commercial establishments. For the most part, they're actually quite kind, hospitable folks. I think one of the things is that in many places, when you see people working in establishments, they're often working for a living wage, as opposed to the typical sort of U.S. thing where you might go to a fast food chain where you have people there on minimum wage that don't give a damn, or are tired, or are working multiple jobs, stressed out, and you get a very different sense of the way you communicate than, for example, experiences I found in Australia. Just as a couple of examples of things that are different. They do drive on the left-hand side of the road, and that's always a fun thing to do. One of the classic problems that Yanks have in going to Australia is that we go to the wrong side of the car, right? Someone's going to drive us, taxi's going to pick you up, and you go to the side where they have to say, you need to go on the other side. That I'm the driver and I'm on the steering wheel's on the other side, so you have to get on the other side of the car.
Their internet sucks though.
In bits and pieces, yes. They have a problem, a thing called NBN, which is it's special. Let's put it that way.
I pulled up earlier because I knew you were going to talk about Australia. I put up the worst things about Australia, and the internet was like number one. It was like up there.
But the animals, the plants, insects, birds, all quite special. But I think also the people in Australia make it really quite an amazing place, and they're.
But Red Eye lives there, so it's fucking horrible.
And he is actually a really gracious host. So
yeah, but he's a fucking ugly bastard.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
And Red Eye does have a pot habit.
Oh
He's quite-
man.
He likes that tobaccoless weed.
That wacky tobacco.
No. I'm referring to these.
Yeah.
He has.
I know what you're talking about.
He has hundreds of pots.
Yeah, but he
100
smokes
pots.
hundreds of pots
At
too.
least 100 pots. What did
Yeah.
you say, Ryan?
I scored over 200 pots a couple of weeks back, and I had, I was doing at least 1 or 2 pots a day. Whew.
and so particularly he is becoming a specialist in bromeliads, which is what is a bromeliad? It turns out
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Yeah, basically. Like a pineapple. Pineapples are in the bromeliad family. There you go.
Yeah, and they come in all kinds of shapes and colors and sizes and whatnot. And so he has gone into the deep end of the bromeliad pot stuff. And he has there is a store called Bunnings, which is his pot supplier. And when he walks in the store, they place in the front, right where they know he's going to walk by, the most gorgeous of the bromeliad in pots. And it's very difficult for him to walk by and not buy at least 1 or 2. And also even the local shop owners have noticed, hey, there are bromeliad fanciers there. And so they will put a little convenience store and they'll have a couple of pots outside and they'll put for sale, right? And so they have these plants around to make the place look nice, but also they're for sale.
Yeah.
So Bunnings is sort of like, I guess in the United States, it would be like a let's say a Home Depot type of place.
Depot.
As an example. And of course, they when he goes inside, they snag him with the beautiful ones coming in, and then coming on the checkout line, they have the pity plants, these little cute little plants that just need someone to give it a little bit of love, and so he'll and these are the low cost ones, and he'll pile in. So even though he says I'm not going to buy any plants, he usually walks out with 3 or 4, and it's they're his pot dealer.
Oh, some days I'll go down and see the dude at the market, and that's the sly one where you get really good deals, but they're kind of black market bromeliads. We can't discuss that any further.
And he also meets the dude behind the market to buy a whole different kind of pot. Yeah.
Oh, I can neither confirm or deny that.
Yeah. So
Allegedly.
So he's quite Red Eye is quite the gardener, and he's got this growing garden of plants and water features and so forth that is a pleasure.
Did you anything more boring to do though? God damn.
It's actually quite exciting because and you watch it come out, and he'll basically say, today, look, this plant has this little shoot here, and it's this and this. I mean, they're growing plants. Watching plants grow is something to do. But again, in Australia, I think that the thing again that this time that was quite remarkable was just how, I guess, the professionalism and the attention of people in shops, food shops, eye gas repair shops, wine shops, you name it, right? A hardware store, things like that. You actually had generally nice people. I think if Australians had never been to the U.S. were to come to the U.S. and experience our retail, big box retail stuff, and our big box and our our chain store stuff, they would come away saying, "What a bunch of rude people." Now
And they need to go to mom and pop places.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, and so we also go into a lot of mom and pop stuff as well.
I love mom and pop stores.
All
They're
right,
the best, man.
Tommy asked if I know any UFC fighters. No, but I do know a former world surfing champion, Mick Fanning. Used to drink beers with him. He used to come and watch our crappy band play at the local pub. Mick's a very, very cool guy. He also punched a great white shark in the face and lived to tell a tale.
Very cool.
Literally.
Yep.
But yeah, I think the thing also that is kind of remarkable about Australia is it's a vast country. I mean, with very few people, so people tend to be concentrated in a few cities. And once you move a little bit outside of a city, you're out in the boonies. You're out in the outback.
Mhm.
So in some ways, Australia has these concentrated groups of people. The other place has got vast, land that is, wilderness. It's
Yeah.
quite special. And of course, the other thing is they've got
visiting Australia.
they've got the Great Southern Stars there, so you can go and see these Magellan clouds, these two satellite galaxies that are right up there. You can see other galaxies out their spot.
And let's not forget, they got beautiful women. Dude. Australia is got a lot of beautiful fucking women.
Definitely.
They really do. Australia is known for beautiful women. And they really have them. Unfortunately, Red Eye cannot get any of those. Yeah.
Nope. Used to be able to when I played in the band because that's why they invented
That's
guitars so
a pussy
ugly
ticket right
dudes
there.
could get
That's
some.
That's a pussy ticket. Playing in
It
a
is.
band is a pussy ticket. And
It is.
also, it is. I tell you something else is a pussy ticket. Me. I kid. Red Eye looks like a rocker, dude. Man, he really does. He got that. I guess he still got that long hair. I'm not sure if he cut it or he got that long.
Not yet, but it's going soon. It's giving me the fucking shits. It's like,
Get that.
yeah.
He really looks like a dude who would play in a band. He really does. He looks.
Yeah, but it's fun it's definitely fun to hang out with Red Eye, and we had an experience where we accidentally went shopping on Black Friday.
Yeah, that was sort of fun. I don't like crowds and I don't like shopping centres, so.
But he wanted to take me down to the shopping center to show me, the Australia experience.
So we're pulling the car park, and I actually made the comment, "Fuck, it's a bit busy today. Pretty early for a busy Christmas rush, but we still went in."
And I
not
go like,
realising.
I'm okay. It's a little bit busy, but how do I know?
Did
It's the
you
first
buy
time
me
I've been.
something from Australia, Landon?
It turns out I do have something to give you when you come
I know.
here.
Red Eye doesn't tell me about it. What it was? It ain't a sock. It's the yo-yo thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that too. That's very cool. Very cool. Very appreciate that, Red Eye. The one thing that I wanted to do with Red Eye, when I do go to Australia, which I was supposed to go this year, but shit happens, is my plan. And this is a simple fucking little thing too. But it's something I want to do. Red Eye. Me and him's gonna go on a fucking fishing bank, have a beer, and fish.
Yeah. We got a good spot. We got plenty of spots to go fishing.
That's all I want to go on because I've always fished of course in the South and shit, which we got good fish here. But I just want to do that with my buddy. I like doing that with my buddies.
And I'd say that Australia just has some. They have a few rivers, not many, but they do have a few. And some of the rivers that they have actually have water in them. There's a lot of rivers. There's a fair percentage of Australia that has rivers where they only have water when the sky pours out great torrents of rain, and otherwise, so there's a lot of interior, lots of dry riverbeds, and the road's just going to go through them, which means when it rains, traffic stops because you can't go anywhere unless you've got. But
Like last night, for instance, Brisbane got. We had a storm last night, and in that storm, it dropped the same amount of rain that Brisbane City had in the last 6 fucking months. Welcome to the wet season.
So again, it's very friendly people, fun place, really great to interact with, great environment, great southern skies, and then you wake up in the morning and the evening and these birds, right? That here you'd have to go to a tropical bird shop to find fairly expensive birds. Where they're just flocks of them, just flying around, and they're noisy. They come in the morning. So my practice was to set an alarm to wake up a little bit or before sunrise and just sit there and listen to the storm, the cackles, and all.
The train ride though. I want to hear about the train ride.
Yeah, so the train ride, the main train ride I did across the continent that was about 3.5 days was called the Indian Pacific. Basically, the train went from the Indian Ocean to Pacific Ocean. And I had a sleeper car there, and it was a similar to what you. I mean, there was services where essentially the breakfast, lunch, and dinner was on the train, but we also would stop at places. Like we stopped at a place called Broken Hill, which is this mining place, and went out and saw this one of the world's largest open pit mines of I think Broken Hill is Broken Hill's the one that says one's gold and one's silver. We went to a gold mine and a silver mine, and non-trivial amounts of gold and silver coming out of this place. And so you get to go into the town. The train kind of stops to a refueling and go into town and check out things there. We had there was a gentleman that I worked with. He was a former government official, just to put it that way. But he's also had some medical issues. So he was traveling across the country to deal with those medical issues. And we had lots of fun conversations about Australia and how we might help the country with various science projects that are being considered. The staff there on the train was outstanding, right? And they were very happy to chat with you and talk to you about the history of the place and various things that you saw going by on the there. One of the things the train ride has is the world's longest straight track stretch. There's a spot that's, I think it's over 600 kilometers long. So that's something like 400 miles long, where the train is just straight as an arrow, right? It just goes, because there's lots of open country and they just basically, they don't need to, it's flat and they just head across on there. But you watch going across there and you'll see, even out in the wilderness, you'll see, kangaroos, wombats. We saw, and of course you could also, the snakes, if you were careful, you could see snakes, but snakes like to crawl up near the tracks, because the rails are warm in the morning and evening. And so you could also, if you watched, the train going by, you could see, oh, that was a snake. That was a snake. So there are lots of snakes out there too as well.
Oh, it's a snake. There's a snake. Oh, half a snake. Oh, half a snake. Oh.
Yeah, I think the smart ones don't rest on the rail; they rest near the rails. But
yeah, the smart ones get over 3 feet long.
and such. But and then of course lots of birds out there, and there's spots where you'll go for an hour or two and not a bush, just scrub, and then all of a sudden you come into lots of gum trees. Americans might call them eucalyptus, but they're actually eucalyptus in U.S. is a form of gum tree that you'll find in Australia, and in the trees are all kinds of critters there as well, and you can see, and so you even see koalas up in some of the trees on occasion as well. You're driving, trains going by, and you stopped at various towns, refueling stops. We stopped at a town that was kind of basically, in fact, had an official plaque called Middle of Nowhere. It was the middle of nowhere. Four people lived in this town, and they kind of, the train went through stopped that place once a week, and so they had sort of mail call and you go there and say hi. And they just had a camel that was born there. So one thing that people might not realize is that Australia is home is one of the world's leading suppliers of camels.
Yeah.
Animals live there, like in the wild, or are they all domestic?
In the wild.
Oh, okay.
Camels also, aka Arabic fuck toys.
Oh my god!
They're not just camels, dude. We export camels to the Middle East for racing, because the camels that came out here adapted and became stronger, faster, and better than Middle Eastern camels. They just become more hardcore. They just basically they went challenge accepted, and they evolved to something new and better. So they're like uber camels, and they go back to the Middle East and basically spit on the normal camels and fucking win all the races. And all the Arabs give us vast amounts of money. basically wild camels. It's great.
Yeah, and so you'll come across flocks of camels that are there.
They
The
take
parallel-
over towns. They,
Dude, you said
actually, there's-
Uber camel, right? And it just made me think of somebody calling, like, getting an Uber, and all of a sudden the motherfucker shows up on a camel.
Hello,
Yeah.
Ahmed. I need Uber camel immediately. That'll be 20 drachma.
So part of it, one of the fellows on the train was telling me that one of the things that happened in Australia is that they had they have a wide genetic stock of camels, and in places like North Africa or in Arabia, there was so much inbreeding that the camels basically got quite
Special.
deficient. Yes. And special needs camels, yes. And so and Red Eye is right that the that one of Australia's exports is to places in North Africa, in the Middle East, in Persia area, in Central Asia for camels. Actually, quite valued, and so there are camel ranches out there that
And wild herds of camels in drought will come into towns and basically lay siege to towns. They will just fucking anywhere where there's water, they will congregate. And the problem is that there's sick ones by then, and then they start dropping dead in town water supply. So yeah, we've waged war with camels, but they're a lot easier to fucking kill than a goddamn emu.
yes,
I promise you, we are well versed at shooting fucking camels now. It's basically, they call in a chopper and the dude just hangs out the side of a chopper going bang, bang, bang. And every time he shoots, a camel goes, "What?" and drops dead.
And-
They are pests. They are literally introduced pests. So before anyone freaks the fucking go, they absolutely devastate the environment. And we have to keep them under fucking control or they will ruin ecosystems.
But also the other thing is that bored budgies can sit on a house and say, "Oh, here's a corn. Let me gnaw on it." Here's
Cockatoos, they're even way,
Yeah.
they're way worse. Cockatoos, sulfur crested cockatoos, galahs, corellas, any of the big parrots that are
big birds. We're not talking about little tiny little chirp things. Big birds with beaks that will snap off your finger.
And yeah, they have flocks of thousands, and they will chew through the side of your house, through your roof, through the wiring. They'll
Just because they can, they're bored, right?
They will hang off your fucking TV aerial until it breaks. They really don't give a fuck. And there's one subspecies we call them galahs, the pink and grey ones, and they are just basically they are the retards of the fucking bird world. It's like
You
these
do
things.
not want to be called a galah.
Yeah, these things. Most of the sulfur crested ones and the corellas, they'll sit up on a perch. A fucking galah will just fly along and then land on a telephone line and then hang upside down and start flapping around like it's on fucking crack. That's their normal behaviour. That's why we call them galahs. So stop acting like a fucking galah, you dickhead. And magpies, well, we are now calling them officially swoopy boys. That's their new designation. And there is a photo I just saw on the internet. Someone's fucking put this on Facebook and somehow got a photo. There was a possum on their roof, but riding on the possum's back was a young magpie. And basically it was just Cap Party Possum and fucking Swoopy Boy. Fucking Batman and Robert have got nothing on these two guys. It's basically, yeah. So magpies are swoopy boys and they are territorial. They recognize human faces. And I showed Landon, we walked past an adult with its baby and we didn't get swooped.
Yeah.
Because they know me. I've been here long enough, and when they were nesting, I never fucking bothered them once, and I always said hello and walked around them, and they looked at me and went a few times, and then worked out I wasn't a threat, and I don't get swooped. And I'll sit up the end of the street, and anyone that rides a bike through here randomly, you'll see Swoopy Boy just go, and you just hear that crack. Crack of the beak.
You walk with Red Eye because he provides basic protection. Because they say, well, if they're with Red Eye, they're okay.
Yeah, they recognize they've worked out that they recognize human faces, and the fucking things live for around 25 years apparently. So I had ones nesting at my old property too. They never swooped me once, and I watched them swoop many other people, and I used to fucking laugh. But people have been killed by swooping magpies. That's serious. People have died. riding a bike, get swooped, crash on your bike, and you're dead.
I hear you. Well, we are in the second hour,
Ooh.
and there's something that we do in the second hour. It's called demand, and that means I demand you to give me money. Yeah, that's right. I'm demanding, goddammit.
Not asking.
If I make $100, Miss Ann's gonna show me her vagina. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No,
He
fucking
would
God.
have given them things like this.
There you go.
The digital version of that. So it's a nice coin with a. I guess there's a multiple roos there. And it's one $1
Bounty rats, mate, we call them.
$1.
Cool.
Yes. And unfortunately, they have this lady on the back, but this side's cool.
Yeah, forget
Oh,
that.
you leave my nana alone, Landon. Come on.
Yeah. But there's yes. Well, that's the good side, and this is the side that you give head.
And if you show the profile of the coin, you can see how there's some smoothed out bits and some bits with, and that's so blind people can run their finger along the edge and their nail and feel if it's just a 20 cent. They can feel if it's a difference between a 20-cent piece or a 10-cent piece. Is all of them. Most of the other coins have got ridges the whole way around. That's got smooth sections, and on the $1 and $2 coins, we've put those sections on there so vision impaired people can feel that they're not the smaller change. So they're actually got $1 and $2 coins.
And
And the $2 coin is smaller than the $1 coin. That's right.
Wow. I guess
And
dimes are smaller than nickels. So
There's
that's
actually a $200 coin too that's legal tender, but it was a very limited edition thing. And you'd be mad to spend it for $200 because it's probably worth a lot more than that now because they made high gold content. And at the time, gold was only worth $300 an ounce. So do the fucking math. Gold's over $1,000 now.
You talk about, this is sort of what the currency looks like, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
See there.
Wow.
You see there showing
pretty
there
cool.
if they show up on that. And notice, for example, it's got all this transparency bits here, right?
Yeah.
What's that for? Like, what purpose does that serve?
Anti-counterfeit.
Well, how do you
Oh.
put that in a photocopier and photocopy
Oh
print?
yeah, that's a good
And-
point.
And when the feel, try and explain the feel of the note too compared to a normal note.
Yeah, because
How
this sort of is kind of like almost like it's oily or slick,
Yep.
and then there's rough spots here and smooth spots. So there's texture, and then also look at this spot here. Look right here. If you see these bumps,
Yeah.
And there's holograms in it as well.
right?
This-
So
this
there's
is made out of
a
plastic,
hologram. Is it plastic? Yeah. So there's like a hologram, little shiny thing there, and there's and they have interesting people on them as well.
I never really understood the whole plastic money thing. Or a lot of countries are moving into that, right?
And notice it's like because that was the 50, right?
Yeah.
The 50 looks like, and
That's I think that's
again-
one of the that's the old style. That's the original 50. And believe it or not, they started to bring out knockoffs of those ones. So they redesigned the notes with the window, a clear window that went all the way through the note. So
Yeah.
they're really hard.
and the bills. are
I'm
different
really
sizes,
hard.
right? They're
Oh.
not all the same size, right? They're different colors, but also by the size, you can see that the 10 is a different length than the 50.
Yeah.
Right, and they have different bumps on them and different plastic feels. So you can also tell just by feel, right? If you grab that even the 5 is also a different size as well, right? There's the 5. That's the nice side of the 5.
Oh.
And so they're different sizes, which is a nice thing to do because in your pocket and so forth, you can tell. I mean, look again. Here, I'll line them all up. And again, this is like you didn't know that. See they're different lengths.
Okay.
Just like a bunch of dicks.
And so you can tell just by feel about which it is and stuff. And those clear spots have all kinds of little interesting bits inside them.
Just ignore the queen, though.
Yeah, I try not to show her that. That's some of the stupid people in the Mint that did that thing. But otherwise, normally they just have real Australians on it. She's She's one of those import people that KJ comes in here.
Yeah.
And
Have you got those $2 coins with the colourful bits on the front of them? The special edition ones, because they're kind of cool. Those things.
yes,
I
I
actually-
do have. I have that wonderful coin collection you gave me, but that's in a special spot.
Oh,
I'd have
no
to
worries,
get it.
mate.
Get it.
Yeah, don't worry. That's cool.
Well,
So there's examples of colorful currency and interesting
yeah.
spots. Wonderful. The farmers market has wonderful produce in there. And got yummy veggies that are available. And they make places. They'd have really fantastic wines in Australia as well. So if you're into cork sniffing and cat's blood,
And bottle shops fucking just about everywhere. Frightening amounts of bottle shops. It's like there's bottle shops that you can just stay in your car and pull up and go, yo, seriously, before we had drive-through McDonald's or drive-through, and I'm talking when I was born in 1972 and drive-through bottle shops already existed in Australia. They were a fucking thing. Nothing
Bottle
else.
shop. What do you mean by bottle shop?
yeah,
Where
they
you
sell
buy
bottles, and then
alcohol.
they can actually ask them to put things in the bottle too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call, I don't know what you guys call them, but where we go to buy our booze is called a bottle shop
We call them liquor store.
or a liquor store, right? Well,
Yeah, well, let's say that's one of the things, and so you pay attention, saying, "Oh, bottle shop," right? But
Yeah.
drive through, liquor stores.
yeah,
Bottle
we're
shop.
talking in the 1970s. So I'm not even sure. Actually, I should look into that to find out when the first drive-through bottle shop was opened in Australia, because there was no other fucking thing in Australia that had drive-through, and no one ever thought of it. Like every other business now, like seriously, there's even banks, I do believe, in major metropolitan cities that have drive-throughs now. Just about every business has a drive-through part, but I think it wasn't until McDonald's and KFC.
It's not big
and
over here, though. Like drive-through liquor stores or bottle shops. That's not really a big thing
Oh,
over here.
fuck, they're
They've
huge
got
here.
some. They've got some, but it's not like a real big thing here.
Because it's basically there's 2 or 3 lanes that go into them, and one lane you can park your car, get out, go in and select, or the other lane is literally sit in your car and yell at the bloke comes there, says, "What do you want?" And you just tell them, "Yeah, I want a 6-pack of whatever," and they'll just go grab it, give them the money, they come back with the change, and you're in and out within 30 seconds. You got your booze for the night, off to the party.
And they have they do have some nice beers there as well. There's one particular one I like, the Crown.
Crown Lager. Yep. That's the one I like to recommend. It's not a bad drop at all.
It is a very good beer. So again, I just say friendly people, amazing place, countryside, interesting animals, interesting experiences. Pay attention to stuff going on. Like the traffic, the way roads are laid out and signed and traffic stuff is very functional. It's different than what you might experience, but it's also quite functional. The trains are very good service. Great food on the trains. Wonderful staff, people. And again, I think that's part of the thing of what you see. Again, we're generalizing, but you'll generally, when you counter someone in a service place, like let's say on a train, they're being paid a decent living wage. You don't tip them, right? There's no really tipping is not expected because they're expecting to be paid a salary that they can earn a living.
Unlike in
themselves and their family. Yeah.
Because you tip your people on a train in America. Let's make that clear. The other countries I've read about this and stuff. It's like I was talking to a chick who lived in Ireland. I'm sorry to bring change subject. It's not really changing subject. But I was talking to a chick who lived in Ireland. She's a waitress at a bar. She's a bartender. Sorry, and she had like that. She tweeted that we've got a massive crowd. And I was like, "Well, good tips." She said, "Nah, baby, we don't get tips here because we get paid good." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So, but I wished America was like that. I wish we didn't have to tip in America, but we do.
Yeah, I still tip over here.
That's
Now,
good.
if-
That's awesome of you to do that.
Yeah, here's the distinction when I tip. if I go to a place, I usually don't tip because I know that the minimum wage is the living wage in Australia. And I shit you not, before they just did a wage adjustment and actually killed off some of the penalty rates. This is no shit. 16-year-old kids working on a Sunday were earning more money per hour than the fucking owner of the fucking cafes. They actually had to wind it back a little and go, oh, and I kind of agree with it. That's another conversation. That's how well they were being paid, as the kids were earning like 35. It was basically triple time. So they get paid their normal hourly rate, but 3 times that amount for working on a Sunday. So the cafe owners were having to shut down and everyone was starting to get the shits. It's like no one could fucking get a coffee on Sunday for a while there. So when I do tip is if I get a home delivery, because delivery drivers, sadly, don't get paid fuck all compared to the people working in cafes. They're not. Yeah, so Uber drivers, those guys get a tip. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
They're the dudes that are like the first sort of wave of people that actually need to be tipped in Australia to make sure they're all right are the fucking delivery drivers, because they don't earn much per hour. When you look at what they earn per hour, it's probably under the average award wage, but they work for themselves, and so it doesn't matter the government. They don't give a shit. So, yeah.
One thing I want to talk. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Animation.
I'm just wanted to ask this real quick. Do you think it would be better if you know, like waiters and shit, they didn't have to rely on tips and they just made a regular wage, and that way, you know?
Way better.
All right, yeah, I agree. Go ahead.
It would be way better, but I mean, it's not that way here in the States. It's just not the way it is. But the one thing I know, you got to experience this, Red Eye, and I'm glad you finally got to experience this, because I want to say, if you have dinner with Landon, it's a different experience. It's not like your regular dinner. It's just not. It's a great experience, and I've been lucky enough to have dinner with Landon a few times, several times actually, and just having dinner with Landon is very cool. You go through. It's not a go down, sit down, eat, and leave. No, ain't none of that shit happening. You gonna be there for a while.
Yeah, no,
apparently Missy is in service, and she says that she wouldn't want that change. She thinks that she makes more than her friends who do a normal wage, doing what she does. So I can see. I've never heard that argument before, but I suppose, yeah, some people.
No,
who
I
are
have
good,
heard that argument.
Really?
They make good money in tips. They make really good. But if they made good money in paycheck, they wouldn't have to make. I mean, you know,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But yes, they do make real good money. But anyways,
all right.
Yeah. So yeah, we had some really marvelous experiences. I really like one of the things that there's a fish in Australia, is in the Queensland area, I assume, called barramundi. It's a really nice fish. It's not a fish that shouts. It's not one of those fishes that's just sort of no flavor. It's got flavor, but it's not ultra strong, and done right is quite good. And they have some places there that serve chips. You know, you might call them fries, that are really good. I mean, not just McDonald's thingies, but I had some really well done. I mean, crispy fries, a little crunchy outside and nice soft inside.
Thick cut,
amazing,
and beer battered. So beer battered chips, and they were cooked fucking perfectly. That chicken, what did I have? Chicken schnitzel. That's right. That was fucking perfect too. But those chips were the best fucking chips I've ever had, and going back there for lunch over the weekend. Fuck yeah.
Is it? And it's one of the, in these malls run by this Japanese family that also make extraordinarily good lattes. Actually, they have some really good baristas there if you're into cafe and so forth. And we had like a wonderful seafood pizza there.
Yeah,
that was fun.
And what was it? The margarita with pineapple.
Yeah.
We got pineapple. We got pineapple. We got pineapple on a pizza. What you going to do about it, chat? Want to fight about it? Let's fight.
But it's again, to be fair to the people like Tommy, who have claims on what pizza really is. Australian pizza is a different style of pizza, but it's actually, I think, pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Our pizza ain't bad. Ain't bad at all.
Now they do. Australia does have blood-sucking insects, and they also have mosquitoes.
Is it?
Now, blood-sucking
Is it-
insects tend to hover around Canberra, but they also have these moss things called, was it mossies and
Yep.
sort of no-see-em things.
Mozzies and
if you're not-
midgies.
Yes.
Landon, your I don't know what it is, but your mic is sounding weird.
Yeah, it looks like your bandwidth's been choked a bit and it's
Yeah.
trying to compensate.
Oh, sorry. See what I can do about that.
Yeah. Please cease communicating with the Illuminati and just come on, man.
Well, he's talking to other planets as well as we're, he's got his people on the planet, old people.
Oh, live from the planet old people.
old motherfuckers. But anyways, speaking of old motherfuckers, Tommy from the Bronx is in the chat. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Very old, very, very old.
Somebody give Tommy a large amount of money for a certain painting that he's got of a certain character from a certain TV show who used to say Dynamite, and give him a really decent whack of money for it, and then send the painting to me, and I'll be really happy.
There you go. Tommy likes dick. I'm just saying.
That's the only thing
yeah,
I've ever tried to shill for is I want that painting, Tommy, and I'm going to come up with the money one day and enough money to make an offer so you can't refuse it. I'm going to make you an offer too good to refuse.
While Landon's trying to fix his mic stuff, I do want to shout out the tomorrow's show. Tomorrow on the show should be fun. We've got Shabisky. Missy Ann's going to be on for the first time. Missy Ann with her pretty self. Yeah, tig old bitty. She got some tig old bitty. Anyways,
All right, man.
she going to be on. Of course, Luna's going to be back. Red Eye's going to be here. And Red Eye, I'll tell you what, right now, I'm going to drop it. I'm just going to drop it. We are doing a Friday show because, we made money yesterday. But if we make $100 the day before the show ends, Pimp Isha will host that show.
On that, dude. On that.
I'm just saying, we make $100 before the show ends. Pimp Isha will host the show. I'm just saying.
Oh, feeling a bit sick. Probably won't be able to make it tomorrow.
And if we make $100, Pimp Isha has a poem she wants to read to Red Eye.
Yeah, definitely going to be sick.
Oh,
now.
man. Does Red Eye have a secret admirer?
No.
Oh, Pimp Isha and Red Eye's got a relationship, some kind of weird relationship going on. I do believe.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's called a love-hate relationship. I love to hate her. Wait, what?
He
I
wants to
thought
eat her
Red Eye was
pussy.
gay.
He wants to eat her pussy stick. I'm telling you.
No.
He wants to lick on Pimp Isha's twat. That's just.
Ooh.
She's an attractive woman. I don't blame you.
I'd rather go noodling with my PP in shark-infested waters.
I hate that we invented that fucking thing, sport. Noodling. Noodling's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I
It's
know.
dumb. You're sticking your goddamn hand in a hole. Anything could be in that motherfucker. You don't know what. You can't see in there. It's just
It
ridiculous.
sounds like you're describing a sex act to me right now, not
It's
noodling.
not a sex act. It's just weird and stupid. But people do it, man. There's videos. If you want to watch it, there's some cool ass videos of it. People reaching there and grab some fucked up shit, man.
Well,
Actually,
in Australia, I think they learned that if there's water there, you want to be very careful about going near it because there's things
Just-
water will jump out.
Just the opposite, actually, Landon. Article, because of the drought, a kid that lives on this farm that has a river system running through it has taken it upon himself to go and capture all of the native fish that are trapped in what's left of this river system drying up and put them into a dam. And they're going to look after them until the river starts flowing again, then release these native species back into the fucking dam. Here's the problem. They're catfish. and every single time he catches one, he's doing it by hand, and he's getting jabbed with the barb. All right,
Bob.
or if it's a cod and it's a big enough cod, it will actually kind of like noodling for a catfish. It just grabs onto his arm and doesn't let go. So he'll sit around with the fucking big fish hanging onto his arm for up to half an hour while it's chewing on him and making a mess of him.
I'm a
And
big child. You know that, Red Eye? Because when you said cod, I laughed because I thought of a dick.
Of course you did,
I'm a big fucking
Aw,
child.
man.
you cod piece face.
The way you said, grab the cod. Like,
Yeah.
grab
Grabbed
the
him.
cod, mate.
Grabbed him right on the cod piece. I mean the cod.
I was wearing my pluggers when I grabbed the cod.
Crikey.
I love what that they call flip flops pluggers, man. I fucking love that.
Nah, double pluggers, mate. Fuck
Double
pluggers.
pluggers,
Pluggers are
mate.
shit. You got to
Yeah.
buy fuck. Real tech cunts buy fucking triple pluggers, mate. But that's a bit of a fucking techie secret. I don't want that one to leak out that we have triple pluggers, because then everyone will go, oh shit. They'll be unstoppable with triple pluggers. There'll be no more thong blowouts with triple pluggers. So you got your plug, then you've got a backup plug, and then you've got a secondary backup plug. Triple plugger. Fuck yeah.
Dude, you thought they were called thongs? Now they call them pluggers.
No. We call them thongs, but there's an upgraded version of a thong called a double plugger, because long ago people at the pubs found out that if you're feeling a bit cheeky and you wanted to be a bit of a prick, you'd wait until your mate was about to walk away and you stand on the very back of his thong. And what would happen is, because there was only one plug in place, it'd pull the plug out and rip the thing out, and you'd have to poke the plug back. So it was a pain in the ass. But if you had a double plugger, you were right, mate.
See, over here, that means a whole different thing. That means a whole.
And that's a fun thing about listening and watching. These differences are actually quite delightful. On there, so
That is cool,
Gig
man.
had some
Boy, your mic is shit right now, man.
really.
It's weird. You're going to real low quality for some reason.
Yeah, it's
I can do to fix. There's a.
no.
is
Tommy
there
will not.
updates?
Tommy, you're not gonna be on the show tomorrow, but you can be on the show next week if you want. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, any day. You just tell me, buddy. But you got to be there. You can't tell me you're gonna be there and then don't show up, you motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
I'm just saying.
Tommy from the Bronx will
By
be
the
here
way-
in spirit tomorrow.
When Landon's trying to fix his mic again, I want to give a special thanks and a special shout out to Hannibal and Monty. Last night they did a show, and I went into the chat room, and Hannibal said some very, very wonderful things about me on their show last night, and I really appreciate the compliments and stuff, because that was he said that I was one of the smartest comedians he's ever seen, the funniest person he's ever seen, and he just went on, and I really appreciate the compliments from a couple of guys that I truly do respect, and I love those dudes, and they're funny as hell. They're talented. They've got one of the best shows on YouTube.
Underappreciated and undervalued.
I love the guys, and I love anybody who fucking brags on me.
Hell yeah, man.
But he
Yeah,
said some
Hannah and
things-
Monty are good folk.
Yeah, they are. And he's like, people don't realize how smart Pimp Bunk is. And I was like, damn. He said people don't give a lot of Southern people the respect about business. He said people just don't realize how smart Pimp Bunk's comedy is and the shit that he does. And I really appreciate that.
He's right.
I really do appreciate that. And because right now, the times that I'm going through, and I know Landon and Red Eye's going through basically the same thing. And one of the things that I'm going through, they just both lost their fathers as well. Me, Landon, and Red Eye lost our fathers all together at the same time. Basically, Red Eye lost his, Landon lost his, and I lost mine. And so we kind of can relate to each other right now, what each other's going through. And right now, sometimes I just need to lift up, because I'm on an up and down fucking.
I know how you feel, man.
Yeah, you lost your father as well, Animax. That's right. So yeah, it's an up and down, and so right now I really do appreciate that kind of stuff. So Hannibal Monty,
I'm glad you brought that up, man.
They're very good Negroes.
I just wish that there's more stuff like this going on YouTube right now. Like, we just need to build each other up more. Like, talk about other creators that we appreciate and value who have maybe inspired us to do our own thing. Like, hell yeah, man.
It isn't just full-time YouTubers who have like really inspired me. Like man, I got Red Eye, I got Landon, I got Luna. Those three people. Oh my God! Right. I'm gonna be honest with you. Without those three people right now, I'd probably be a nervous wreck. And I really, I do. Yeah.
Friendship matters, man.
Even though Red Eye's a piece of shit.
Hey, look, and
he's yours though. He's yours.
Just remember, fucking when it come down to it, there's a certain couple of people that fucking came through. Larry, man, like.
Oh, there's a bunch of people. I
just wanted to mention Larry specifically because fucking got a lot of love for Larry and Bunny and
you want to know another person? Hellbent.
Yeah, you know who else?
Dude.
I want to say good day to just in case she's watching is fucking nerdy. I don't know what she's doing. I heard she's doing stuff on WeedTube a lot. Yeah. So
yeah,
I miss that fucking laugh of hers.
She's big on weed. She's big thing. She really digs WeedTube, I guess. I haven't talked to Nunzi in a while, but she's really WeedTube. Whatever, man. I actually was on the Geek Room the same night as the creator of WeedTube was on there, and me and him kind of bumped heads. Yeah, it's a good side, I guess. But me and him kind of bumped heads because he's really SJW-ish. Yeah. And I said tranny, and he was like, "Don't call them trannies." And Alexis was in the chat room like, "Fuck you."
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was about to say, let's go and get all of our friends that are fucking trans and get them to come in here and
I have a big tranny following, so I'm cool with it.
Yeah, like seriously, there's. I'm not going to drop any names, but the girls know who they are. Shit.
Alexis
I can say, this and Sinistrous, like, I hope she's doing well, her and Alexis. Nicole Green.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't heard from Nicole in a while, but very lovely. Very lovely.
I'm talking to her on Facebook now and again, always popping in and always see she's got a very, 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 very big dog. Yeah. Are you familiar with it? If you're familiar with her puppy.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about her dick.
No.
and she's also quite a good cook.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
speaking of good cooks, my baby Luna. Hey.
Oh, yeah. Well, every time I see Nicole post a thing about her pup, it just looks like a huge big police dog. So I call it a fur-seeking meat missile. A meat-seeking fur missile because it's just, yeah.
You're talking about her dick.
No.
You keep saying things that refer to dicks, Red Eye.
No, well, I'm confused and tired and a bit gay. What can I say? Since I'm doing shout outs, I want to do this.
Missy Ann in the chat room has been a very, very big supporter lately. And I'm not talking about money wise. I'm talking about emotional support. She has been there. She sends messages all the time like, hope you're well, hope you do. And that shit helps, man. Trust me, it helps. It really, just to know that somebody's caring, it helps.
Yeah. So if you want to do something for somebody who's lost a family member, follow up later on how you're doing and ask them. And even if you don't get a response, keep asking.
Yeah, because they appreciate it. And they, I've been trying to go back into my messages because look here, it's hard, dude. Because Landon, I promise you, I'm not exaggerating. I literally had thousands of emails, Facebook messages, tweet messages. I had thousands, so it's hard to go through and talk to everybody. But I've been going back and saying, I know it's late response, but I appreciate it. And everybody's like, man, don't worry about the late response. I didn't even expect a response. But, just the how you doing, Landon's right. Just to check because they need it. They really do. People, if you've lost anybody, and look, I know I'm one that's hard to get to sometimes, late response. I got a lot of people talking to me. But if you ever need me, man, and if I can get to you, I'll promise you I'll help you out or send you somewhere you can. Because especially because watching here, I hate to get into sad stuff, but watching my mom lately has been the hardest thing in my life because that woman is crushed. She is absolutely crushed right now. She doesn't know how to really go on, and it's hard. And so I appreciate all the messages about her and all the people buying her gifts and stuff. That is so fucking sweet, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I really
And
appreciate
big shout out to Shabisky helping us do the show.
Oh, fuck
Raise
Shabisky,
some money.
piece of shit. Fuck.
And all of the gifts that were bought there. Good stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. Shabisky's awesome. He did he came through really solid, and I appreciate the kid, even though he's the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met. The boy is so goddamn dumb,
He's very sincere.
but he's
I
dumb.
love
He's sincere, but he's dumb. I love him, but he's dumb. He's cool. He's funny, but he's dumb.
Tell us how you really feel.
He's dumb.
Okay. Well, you know what they say, boss. We live in dark times.
We do live in dark. He lives in dumb times.
We
It's awesome.
live in dark times.
The Shabisky's awesome. I love Shabisky.
Unironically, though, we all do live in dumb times. Let's be honest about that.
He's good folk. Speaking of dumb times, the former United Kingdom is going through an election, and I fear that they will do something rather dumb.
Apparently, Tory candidates like to hide in fridges away from journalists. I heard something. What the fuck was that about? Did that actually happen?
Yeah, it's what can you say?
So instead of
No, it was a
talking to-
restaurant. Basically, they hid in the restaurant fridge to avoid the journalists. They were trying to go and ask questions because
the current
asking
prime
questions
minister
of elected officials is just rude.
Yeah. So the current prime minister of the UK who wants to be re-elected to try and pull off this Brexit thing, which the guy from the EU was recorded admitting totally can't pull this off by 2021. Not a fucking hope in hell. Never going to happen. But we'll tell the public that we can. What's the worst that could go wrong? So the guy that's organising all this shit, instead of talking to the journalists, dove into the fucking restaurant freezer with his buddies, went shh, and started sipping on his fucking wine. That's well, yeah, good luck with that, United Kingdom. I salute you, and you're going down in flames, I suppose.
That's why I call it the former United Kingdom. Sorry about
Jesus fucking Christ, really? They're fucked. They're so fucked.
And so, yeah, so people
Dark
go to
times.
polls today, and we will see what happens.
Well, we know what's going to happen. We know what time it is. Anyways, dark time.
Let's check the news and to see if there's any counts coming yet. Any?
By the way, we need to see some tips. Hit that like
now.
button. Like button. Smash like button now. I want to see them moving. Give me some numbers on them likes now. Numbers on the likes.
He likes the likes.
I like the likes. And today's been a good show. It's been like, kind of a different show today because we talked about, Landon's trip and all that stuff. But we will get straight back to Goofy tomorrow. So.
Well, I don't know. There's bits of Australia that are goofy too.
Oh, all of Australia's fucking goofy. What are you talking about? I know what bits of Australia you was talking about, though. Red Eye.
Aww. Why are you guys picking on me?
Yeah, but Tommy, I see Tommy again. We do need to get Tommy on the show next week sometime. Tommy, I want to get you on Tuesday, Tommy, if it's can happen. Tuesday. Call it Tommy Tuesday.
Come Tuesday.
Yeah, Tom is good folk as well.
Yeah,
I don't know. He has good comments to say about my trip, Australia, Red Eye, or stuff you observed. I mean,
I just had a lot of fun. Got to eat some good food, drink some wine, actually enjoy wine instead of going, oh, this is pretty shit.
yeah,
I'll just
he
have a good
actually
time, mate.
he actually participated in Cork's wine and cheese.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Actually, payday today, so I guess we're all heading fucking.
I've tried a lot of wine. I'm not a wine guy, but now Landon did find one wine that I liked. I can't remember what it was though. He kept on until he found a wine that I liked. So I think
I'm
it was
getting a bottle of that white.
port, wasn't it?
Port, yes. You like port as well.
I like
Red Eye, so John likes sweet wine.
Yeah. Well, I like that white, and the first red that you got wasn't too bad either. Either the second one that was aged in the whiskey barrel wasn't bad. But I'm definitely taking delivery of a big bottle of that Crystal Head Skull, or the Crystal Skull vodka, or whatever the fuck it's called. And maybe there's another company out there doing vodka, and the bottle looks like an alien's head. It's just, I like weird bottles. So,
Landon, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Since you've done all this wine, and this is country as hell now. This is country as hell. Have you ever tried muscadine wine?
Ever tried muscatine?
Muscadine, like muscadine. You know what a muscadine is, right? Like a little berry thing.
Yeah, have I ever tried that? I don't know that I have.
I'm gonna have to get you some muscadine wine. That shit'll fuck you up, boy. That's some country shit now. I'm telling you, it's country as hell. But it'll fuck you up.
Mm.
It will. It's like, I don't expect you to say, "Oh, this is wonderful tasting wine." Don't go there. but it's definitely something. It's something.
Yeah. So anyways, that's one of the things I did was introduce Red Eye to wine and cheese.
Yeah, I love cheese. What kind of cheese is the Jeep?
Well, it's this New Zealand?
Yeah, it was New Zealand mainland tasty cheddar cheese, aged for 12 months.
Okay.
The Kiwis have some really nice cheese.
What is your favorite cheese, Landon?
My favorite cheese, probably Emmentaler. It's a Swiss hard cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty good. Although Gouda is also.
Oh, that's my shit. You know, that's my shit right there. Love me some Gouda. Smoked Gouda, to be honest with you, is the best.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, that reminded me, I'm putting a wheel of goddamn Gouda on my fucking wish.
Hickory smoked in there. Gouda. So
I'm putting some fucking Gouda on my list right now.
So if you're pairing wine with smoked cheese, you need a wine that's more herbaceous, right? There's wines that are fruity and wines that are more like herbs and spices, and so you need a more herbaceous wine for that. So it is good, but we know the New Zealand cheese that we had was quite good.
Yeah, I really like that one. I'm pretty fond of Swiss cheese myself, but that stuff's fairly
Swiss.
local, and it's a good sort of middle of the ground cheese. You can basically use it for just about anything and get away with it.
Any questions from the chat regarding Australia?
Oh God! Dun, 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 dun.
I got a question because I'm. What was the one thing about Australia that you did not like? It's got to be something.
The mozzies.
Yeah, I think worse than the mosses is these mosquitoes. You could say there's a mosquito, avoid it. But there's these. I think you said the midges. There are things that would bite you, and you would notice afterwards, after you've been bitten, right?
Really?
Yeah, they're so small that they sort of don't really worry until your body reacts to the bite, and by then it's too late, and then it just your usual reaction is, oh, that's really fucking itchy, and then you scratch it, and you just scratch it until you scratch your skin, and that's why they get really fucking nasty.
We got to get red eye over here in America at some point.
Yeah, that'll potentially happen one day.
Yeah, we got to get you over here, man. Because even though America's got a lot of shit stuff, there is some good stuff here too.
America's not the problem. It's getting there and getting back again because I'm kind of like, I'm kind of like B.A. Baracus, and Ain't getting on no plane, sucker.
I hear you, buddy. I hear you. But the one thing I would suggest you do if you come to America is take the Amtrak across the Colorado River.
Yeah, that
It
is
is-
gorgeous.
It is one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see in your life. I guarantee you that. It is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. It's
Oh,
stunning.
what my missus does is she goes to America quite regularly. In fact,
Yeah.
she's going over next year for, is it fucking 6 weeks? Actually, I think she's got long service leave, so it's like 3 months maybe. And she's staying 6 weeks at one place. That's right. They drive. They don't fucking fly because you don't see shit when you're up on the plane. Once you're
Absolutely.
on the ground, you experience what America is. And here's what she says about America. They pull up at the place and they go, "G'day, how you going?" And they go, "Oh, you guys Australian?" And the missus goes, "Yep." And then basically they've made a new friend pretty instantly because everyone in America,
We like your accents.
well, no, you're just really nice people, believe it.
No.
There's a whole bunch of nice
It depends
people in
on where you
America.
go. It depends.
Yeah,
on
well,
Yeah,
it's nothing like what's depicted on TV. Normal, average people, believe it or not, are quite fucking decent
Oh,
folk.
yeah.
And as long as if you walk up to them and you're polite, you don't usually have a fucking problem. Jackie, now, look, just like Australia and every other fucking place every other city on the planet, there are certain places in certain towns that you probably don't want to go if you're not a local, right?
Oh,
But-
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
but there's also in every single town across America, there's a bunch of nice folks, everyday folks that are just wanting to get on with shit, that run hotels,
Yeah.
motels,
Oh yeah.
provide fantastic service to tourists. Like my missus, who's travelled up and down and all across America, she loves, what's the desert territories?
New
Southwest.
Mexico.
Yeah, what's the
Arizona.
place? Arizona. What's the place with all
New
the hippie
Mexico?
stuff and
Like Sedona,
with the
Red Rock.
portals? Yeah, Sedona. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I've actually got a bunch of candles from Sedona sitting up there. The Native Americans have a place where they basically make candles in the glass
Yeah.
enclosed. Yeah, they make them on the premises in front of people, and
Now,
really cool.
another thing I will tell you, Landon can tell you this because he's been around there. And when I was in Seattle at one time, I met Landon's niece, who's a lovely lady, by the way, just an awesome lady. But I guess her boyfriend at the time, I don't know if they're still together or not, but he was telling me, he said he went to Tupelo. He's in a band, right? And he said, I went to Tupelo, Mississippi one time. He said, I'll tell you, those are the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Southern hospitality is something if you experience. Now, we are some dicks at times, but we are very, very hospitable to people. We really are. The Southern hospitality thing is real. Yeah, we do have some dick issues, some bad stuff, but we sure are nice. We're assholes, but we're nice.
So chat room, any questions or comments about Australia?
Yeah, ask anything. Anything. You don't have to just ask. You can ask Landon anything, but try to make it about Australia today.
I got 3 words for people in the South. Bless
Yes, sir.
your heart.
Well, now, that could be that's most likely an insult.
That
by the
is an
way.
insult, yeah.
Why you think I brought it up?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you. And if they call you sweetie, that doesn't mean what you think. that means you're a motherfucker. Oh, sweetie. But yeah.
Oh,
Do they really have, like, a
sweetie,
billion-
you-
Oh, you have a question? Do you have like a billion? Do they really have like a billion mice?
I didn't really see a high rodent population
Except
there, although
red
there are spots I'm sure that do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bugs.
Well, Red Eye, can you answer that question? Is there a lot of mice? There are a billion mice, like a billion
Oh,
mice or something?
Depends if it's on the circumstances. If there's a drought on, but a farm's been irrigating and they get a good crop, you will see the ground's alive with fucking rodents because the rodents will just come and swarm there. But that's a very rare occurrence and that's isolated and they don't usually survive that long. It's usually caused by specific conditions and it's out in rural areas where there's large amounts of food for them to eat.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not a problem in the city though.
Somebody said, tell Pimp about the Golden Gay times.
Oh, the Golden Gate sign. They're just an ice cream. They're pretty shit. Not that special.
Yeah. So one thing that I did was to experience the various types of mites out there, Aussie mite and Vegemite and Pearl mite, and there's also a Vegemite gluten-free, and they have slightly different flavors. But having buttered toast, lightly toasted, bread with butter, and then you put the particular type of mite on it in the morning. Tasty, flavory stuff. Get your vitamin B fix. Get a little bit too much to drink. It'll help you as well.
Yep, it's good for you. Bloody good for you, mate.
Bloody good for you, mate.
Yeah, I mean, but I, in the cities, I didn't really see large rodent populations. It's insects, right? Yeah, and you find quite a variety of insects in houses. And if you're not familiar with insects, you don't know which insects are there. And there were a couple of spiders I encountered where I said, "Oh, I'll just leave the spider alone," and the spider left me alone, and I left it alone, and we were cool about it. But
yeah, we were getting the odd roach coming in, and then the cat would fuck them right up. The cat likes to beat up cockroaches.
Yes, it's one of the things that his cat does. That and contribute cat hair.
Why do Australians shorten the shit out of the English language? Because we just like to fuck with the English language because we can. It's rhyming slang from early 20th century. It's basically
Isn't that sort of the kind of the convict era?
Yeah, and that derives from Cockney slang, basically. Yeah. So it's just a evolved version of slang from sort of England. Except we took it to an extreme so people could not understand a fucking word we said while we were quite happy in a conversation. So we can walk into an English-speaking country and speak in absolute fucking code as long as there's no other Australians around. No one would understand a fucking word that I said. But if another Aussie was there, they'd know what I was talking about.
Look it all up, huh?
Yeah, so I could walk in and go, "Hey, China plate," and any Aussie would know instantly what I said. Any non-Aussie would go, "China plate? What the fucking fuck are you
what
talking
does that
about?"
mean?
Well, I can't tell you that because it's code.
Oh, fuck you.
What China plate means, that's rhyming slang for "g'day, mate."
Oh.
Like, "Hey, China plate, g'day, mate."
Really? That's kind of neat, mate.
Yeah, it's just a nuanced sort of little thing, and it's...
Well, everybody has their own thing, man. Yeah.
Well, the Australian one is just taken to such an extreme that it's kind of like its own standalone code now. It's nearly like in a war situation, we may be called upon, like the Navajos were called upon in World War II, to be the code breakers.
Yeah, because the Australians love to play with language, and it's culturally accepted in various strata of society. It's not just kids slaying out in the street. It's throughout society, and they love to play with the language.
I like to play with their dicks too.
Of course we do. That's what they're for, isn't it?
And other people's dicks.
What's wrong with that? Are you saying there's something wrong with that? What's wrong with that, mate?
I'm saying China plate.
Wow.
See, over here, if you say China plate, you mean you get a goddamn dish.
And so a couple of nice. Again, one of the things that I wish we would do here that do in Australia is every electrical plug has a switch on it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right? So you can plug the appliance into the plug and switch it off and on at the plug.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, you guys like to plug things in and cause short circuits and kill yourselves constantly. Awesome.
Yeah, and so when you remove a plug, you turn it off at the plug before you pull the plug, as opposed to get that bzzzt as you're pulling it out, right? It just makes it so. That's a safety thing that I think is really good. Plus, also you could have something like an appliance, like a hot water kettle, that you just leave plugged in, and we're not using it, you turn off the plug at the switch.
Yeah, well, we've also got safety circuits on all things now. So if there's any leak or any earth issues at all, any shorts, that thing, and Landon saw it in action when he was here. We overloaded a circuit, and what I worked out what did it is when you turned on the toaster. That put us over that circuit over the limit, because there was a couple other devices on it, and that toaster was a big spike, so it just went getting pretty close to the maximum here, shut down, and it instantly did it and didn't break anything. We didn't lose anything. I just had to go and turn the switch back on and make sure the toaster was turned off, so there wasn't too many appliances on that one's internal circuit, because my place is broken up into 2 different circuits, I think.
Yeah.
So there's the plugs in the bedrooms and the kitchen are on one, and I think the lounge room's the other.
Yeah.
By the way, I do have a new mic. I have actually 2 new mic stands, right?
Nice.
Yeah, but I haven't set them up yet because of my feet and stuff. So, but I'm still using this shit one. But what I was gonna say was, right quick, we got 7 minutes. We've only received 1 tip today. That is just horrible. That's horrible business.
Sorry.
That's horrible business, and I blame Red Eye for that.
Yeah.
No,
So-
I've failed.
The other thing I guess that I wish we would, that Australia does, I wish we would do, is the place that you go poo and pee is a separate room from your bathroom.
Are
So
you talking about
bathrooms-
the poop closet?
Yeah, so bathrooms have like a bath and a shower in them, and a sink and your toothbrushes. And the place that you poo and pee and make stinkies bits, that's a separate room.
Yeah, we have a separate dookie hut.
You call them? Do you call them Denny's? Dunnies?
We call them
Dunnies, yeah.
Dunnies, Thunderboxes. I'm still on Dookie Hut from the Borderlands game. Just the crapper, the fucking the porcelain throne.
Y'all call it? Y'all ever call it the John like we do here in the States?
No one, not this. No.
They call it
That's
the
just-
John a lot over here for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know where that comes from, but
Some
yeah.
old
Doesn't make any sense.
some old timers will call it the head.
Yeah, I've
That's-
heard that here in
that's-
America too.
That's old.
Yeah.
That's like, I think that's Sailor's reference, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
I think.
So I've in my house I actually have because we have the American style where the toilet and the sink and shower in the same room, and so I have one bathroom that I poo in and one bathroom that I use for bathing and
I just shit in a tub.
But having your toothbrushes in the same room that you poo is not hygienic.
I use a
Hey.
toothbrush to wipe my ass.
Mr. Hanky deserves to be where he wants to be.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's not the place with the actual toilet is not a very large spot. It's just big enough to walk in a toilet. It's not.
Look,
Well, you gotta have leg room, man.
why have a toothbrush and a toilet brush when you could just have one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wow.
Big
Man.
league thinking.
Good stuff right there, man.
Thank
All
you.
right.
thank
So Boland's talking about waffle stomping fucking shit in the tub. Good on you, Boland.
Boland's a
You-
retard.
Fucking
Hello there,
Jesus
Boland, sir.
Christ. Mr. Boland, we can't take you anywhere because you're just going to pull out a dildo and some random can of fucking World War II surplus food. And yeah, that's what he does. You're all thinking I'm joking, but I'm not. He really does. He will turn up to your party with a dildo in one hand and a fucking can of ravioli in the other hand.
You will.
And he will use the fucking ravioli sauce as lube.
Yeah. And as I say, but the thing that Australia uses, they don't have any of that low level voltage. They're all 220, 240 volt. But 50 cycles.
Yep.
So the power is
Big
different.
places have got 3-phase. Dad's old place had 3-phase. which is basically industrial shit.
So they use the PAL television.
Anyway, so as I say,
too.
lots of good reasons to visit Australia.
Absolutely.
And if you do, pay attention to even the small things, because you'll find there are some pleasant differences, and you'll learn a lot about yourself by seeing a place that's slightly different.
Yeah. They're stupid.
And you'll see a possum get beat up by a cat and then run up my driveway
Yeah.
just before you go. Which is that happened. But remember, never poke a caterpillar in the butt with a twig.
No,
do I
that shit
hear?
happens.
Is that Rosie asking for yum chow?
Oh god, yeah. Hey, you furry little fuckface. You want some yum chow? Dickhead. Wait. Want some yum chow? What? Want some yum chow? What?
I hate cats.
What are you doing?
Tell that
Hi,
fucking
Rosie.
thing. Tell that
Rosie,
fucking thing to shut its goddamn mouth.
Rosie, I appreciate the fur you left with me. It's here in North America somewhere.
What's that? Oh, can I have some face
I have
juice?
a Rosie too, but it's a dog, and it's better.
I'm getting yeah, your dog hasn't got face juice like my cat though, mate.
Fuck
Yeah.
My cat
Cats
cat
should
gives
die.
me free face juice, mate. Walks up and says, want some face juice? And I'll go, oh,
Cats need to die.
can I have some face juice, please?
Die, cat.
Face juice?
Hey, cat, die.
Oh,
It's a nice cat. I like.
I would
Rosie.
kick that cat across the floor. No,
I like her.
I would never abuse an animal.
here's what I'm going to do when you come to Australia, Pim. I'm going to be waiting at the airport, and I'm going to have Rosie in my hands, and all I'm going to do is start screaming, shake the shit out of the cat for 5 seconds, and throw it at your fucking head, and then go, "Welcome to Australia."
Yeah, then I'm gonna punch you in the balls. Which, by the way, Landon, are you prepared?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just get a cup.
Landon,
And
it's happening.
I just accepted.
It's finally
It's
happening, Landon. It didn't happen the other times, but this time it's happening. I'm hitting Landon in the balls next month. I'm gonna pop his balls. I'm gonna crush them local bastards.
I warned him.
Ah!
I said, you know,
What's
you
going to
have
happen
friends.
is you're gonna try and punch him in the balls, but he's going to have some device from fucking DARPA.
I'm also
Electric-
taco chopping Luna, but
electric eel in your pants.
And yeah,
that's all
and
I gotta say.
it's basically going to teleport you to another fucking dimension when you try and fucking punch him in the nuts.
I'm punching his testiculars. So this is happening. It's happening. He needs to prepare for a nut busting.
Oh, bad idea, man.
I'm gonna pop his nuts.
Bad idea.
Anyways, it's been a very interesting show today. Very cool. Love hearing about Australia. We're still getting the technical shit taken care of about multi-platforming, but remember, you can watch this on Twitter now, and soon you'll be able to watch it on Facebook and other places as well. And we're getting there, and it was a great show though. Very good show.
Thank you, Kylie. Thank you for indulging us on a bit of Australiana.
I love it, man. Anytime you want to come on, I don't give a shit what you want to. You can talk about your asshole. I don't give a shit, Landon. I love you. I like having you on. But tomorrow we're having Missy Ann on for the first time. Pretty lady gonna be on the show again.
Yay.
Yeah, and we're gonna have Luna, who's also Luna.
Oh,
Amazing.
good, Luna.
I love me, Luna. And Shabisky is gonna be on.
Hey.
And
Please give Shabisky my regards.
Yeah, Anna Mancher's gonna be here as well again, and Red Eye and me, and the hand with the man up my ass will be here as well. Special shout out to Mr. Bullinator there. He is the hand with my man up my ass. He's a great producer, and I appreciate him very, very much. And I guess that's the end of the show today, guys. Thank you for watching. Red Eye, guess what? You're gay.
You closet heterosexual.
No, he's gay. Gay.